Hello everybody, my name is Graham Ricard and welcome to my FWA recap. A few weeks ago I went to Furry Weekend Atlanta, which is a furry convention located down in downtown Atlanta, and competed in the Fursuit dance competition there. There I was able to win first place, which is actually my first time placing at any Fursuit dance competition. As such, I thought it would be kind of a good opportunity to make a video talking about some of the inspiration that led to me creating this dance, why I did the things I did, and kind of breaking down some of the details and elements I tried to incorporate in there that might have been easy to miss during the performance itself. So, without further ado, let's get started. So one of the first things I thought I'd mention is that what you're seeing me wear right now is it's a traditional Vietnamese outfit called áo dài. This version exists for both men and women. The men tends to have maybe more masculine features or pictures of dragons, or women would have maybe some more flowy and has pictures of like lotus leaves and flowers and such. And to give you all a quick backstory, I actually got my started in dancing in high school, where I was a part of a Vietnamese fan dance group, where for every year at our high school there will be a cultural night where people get to show off performances representing their culture. So for Vietnamese fan dance, there would be 5 guys and 5 girls, and there would be a performance where the guys start dance to some Vietnamese pop song, girls start, and then the two come together in some sort of finale at the end. It was where I learned to do choreos, where I learned to do basic movements and what it means to follow the beat and to put on a dance performance. Then after that, I didn't really dance much with fans until I think it was sophomore year of college, where I got my fursuit, and I just out of blue experimenting with fans dancing again, using these long fans and also the short ones you saw earlier. I ended up creating a performance for a routine for a talent show that ended up never happening, which I was completely devastated at the time. But the way that the fan dance came out, I was so incredibly proud to have done that I thought, wow, like this may be something I can also bring to Fursuit Dance Comp. My first attempt when it comes to that was also at Megaplex 2024, where, oh goodness, I'm gonna show you the clips here. But looking back, it was not one of my proudest performances, mainly because I really messed up at the end with the long fans. As you can imagine, manipulating these fans when in suits can be incredibly difficult, and it's really hard to troubleshoot on the spot when you don't have much visibility in your fursuits and stuff. And long story short, I felt like I could have done a way better job of executing that performance. And then sometime around like the December of last year, of like 2025, my sister shared with me a song that was becoming increasingly trendy at the time, called Bắc Bling. And there is kind of very like cultural-esque song that describes Bắc Ninh, which is a northern province in Vietnam. And I thought that, like, for me, one of the things I wanted to work on was musicality. We want to hit on certain elements of the song and really bring it to life. And when I first heard the intro to that song, it was like boom boom da, na 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 na, boom boom da. I thought, wait, what if I took these fans, right, and then pretended they were drumsticks, boom boom da, na 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 na, boom boom da. And so that was kind of like where the idea first started. And then once I was listening more to the other parts of the lyrics of the song, I realized that I can incorporate even more and more props into it. For example, at the start they were talking about some ideas of nong quai thao, which is a different type of canonical hat, but I can simulate something like that using a nong la. So I said, okay, perfect. So now I start with the little green fan, move into the canonical hat. Then what? Well, then there was also other parts of the song that talk about, I'm waiting for you in the courtyard, my love, with my handkerchief. And so I'm like, well, instead of handkerchief, what about this one? And so it was kind of how all these elements started coming together, and I realized that, wait, this could be a really fun song to do, and I can incorporate all these props that I think would be really cohesive in bringing together this kind of cultural display. The performance has not always been a smooth sailing, though. I think with the way that I work right now, I'm still very inexperienced when it comes to each of these individual props. But a lot of my process ended up being just kind of experimentation. what I would do is that I would have a little Bluetooth speaker here, play the song, and then, with the order in mind, try to just do the moves and watch back and see which thing I like the most. And so that's actually how the start of the boom, boom, bah, da-na-na, came together. Oh, at the beginning I'll say boom, boom, and I hit down. And then, oh, wait, what if I just boom, boom, hit up? That looks a lot better because I'm projecting my energy this way. Or when I'm dancing with the hat, I'll realize that, for example, a lot of times I wanted to hold this with both hands. I wanted to just keep it like this the entire time. But then at some point I said, well, that looks really repetitive. What if instead I, say I only have one-handed? Oh, that looks really interesting. And then there was a few runs in, I realized, oh, I can do a spin. Bah, bah. And that adds even more energy and level shifts. And so that was just kind of being talked to dozens and dozens of iterations of me listening to the song, dancing through it, and seeing what ticks or what works. A particularly big breakthrough for me, though, was that when I started to realize that, wait, I can also incorporate elements of popping into my dance. So if you don't know, popping is kind of a hip-hop style where you just contract your muscles very quickly, typically on the snare. So you'd be like boom, boom, bah, bah, bah. And this is actually the style that I've been learning for about the last year or so, and what I've devoted a lot of my time into. And so it was very interesting when I started doing this fan dance. I was like, wait, I have not really touched these fans for probably the last 9 months. But I do really enjoy learn popping, and I also want to incorporate that too. And so naturally when it came is that, when I did the fan dance, I realized I can pop at different moments to highlight the movement better. And so it became a really nice, I'm learning popping, but then I can also incorporate this into this, traditional or more traditional Vietnamese dance and kind of bring them together. Originally, there was going to even be more section where I dance, without any of the other props. And I think at some point I tried to do a little bit of a cobra, which is a kind of a snaking style, but it's still something I'm working on. So another element that was instrumental to my dance is that I gotta say is my friend Glucose. When it comes to this, I don't think it would have been possible for me to manage all these different props, switching them out, managing them without somebody helping me. And so, me and Glucose were in the same Boston breaking dance group together called Lost Lords. Shout out Lost Lords. And I talked to him and said, well, I need somebody to help me with this dance. Can you do that? And he said yes. And so, this is only made possible because he was willing to help me with that. You might be asking, okay, so what's the deal with these fans? Can you just have them on the ground and pick them up? What's so difficult about them? Well, come a little bit closer now. I'll show you the secret. So one thing you will notice, and I guess I'm breaking the magic a little bit by showing you what my hands look like. Trust me, they're not me. There's some other hand models. But as you can see, actually on my fan, what I do is that I have a label for left and right. And the reason for that is that the way I open them to make them as consistent as possible is that, when it comes to these fans, you want to hold on to this thing here and then let the rest flop. So you're just essentially holding this and then pushing out, let everything come out. And it will do this satisfying poof sound, right, as you can hear. Yep. Same thing for this side. And so when it comes to these props, though, when I'm holding them with paws, it becomes really difficult to do that, or to singularly hold on and separate out this single strand with my paws. So when I do that, I need to have somebody hand to me in this specific configuration where there's enough ledge on the back that I can just put my paws on without having to manually unfold them a little bit during the performance. I just realized that I'm so incredibly bad at explaining. So I never meant to explain why it says left or right. So for example, this left fan, if I tried to open it the other way, it won't work. So if I try to open to the right, you see how if I try to push it out, it will just get stuck there because there's a specific orientation that the fan wants to go into. Even if I hold the back, not correct, right? It would have to be, in this case, it will be like this as well. So in theory, I hold on to this leaf, or I can hold on to this leaf and also fold out this way. Similar thing for the right, right? The right is here. If I try the left, wouldn't work. So if I pick up these fans, I need to make sure the right means that it's holding on my right side as well. And here, with the paw, I need to do this, right? But if it's all folded together in a perfectly straight line, it can be really hard to try to wrangle it on the spot. Okay, I know I've been yapping for a while, so to sort of end out the video, one last thing I want to do is just have us do a watch through together of my FWA Glazing performance. In particular, the video I'm pulling up is a Steadicam POV that's done by Telexis, who is the Steadicam operator on the main stage floor. Also the one by Ignis Firefox, both of them uploaded very quickly after the con, and it was great to be able to have access to those high quality footage and to share with families and friends, and also take a look at all the other performers and ones that I might have missed in the moment.
Up here by the judges table. All right, guys, coming up next to the stage, let's keep it going for Gray Himakar.
So walking up, one thing I was thinking in my head is that, I told myself backstage that I just needed to slow down and listen to the music. I tend to really go too fast during these high intensity moments, and I just need to sit down and listen.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna pause there a few moments during this video, so don't get too mad. The main thing is that I felt like from all the renditions that I could have done, this came together very well. Like, you hear all the beats when I was hitting at the beginning of my green fan, boom, boom, ta, right? But also from here, took a moment where I waited for the kind of like the beat scratch before I really fling out and open up my fans. And in a lot of even my prelims before, I would just speed through that moment and not building up any anticipation. Very important. I'm really glad that Docs laughed at that. So Docs Rave, the person one of the judges that you hear in this footage, who has the best reactions during the dance comp, by the way. But I'm glad that somebody laughed at me doing the hee hee. Oh my god, I'm so glad that I hit that, the little woo, like the bird whistles. So this is all the idea thanks again my friend Glucose. I had so much difficulty hitting that beat, and it was all because of him. When the day before, literally we're practicing in our, like, outside of our hotel room. He's saying, like, why am I always missing this by like a beat or two? And he says, anytime you hear the lyrics, I would wait for a second before I try to act in the sound, but actually it comes right immediately after. So the moment I start moving, it would have been too late, and it was because of him that I got that timing down. To the west, east. Ah, man. I know you maybe if you I could have done that little circle a little bit smoother. This is not quite as even as I want, but I'm being a perfectionist. I get that. One leg stand. Dance sit still. Yep. Right here, I move too fast. It can look better. Trust me. I'll show you a clip. I also try to stand on one leg here, then oop, I can't stay still. Cancel. Goodness. I couldn't. I was like, who am I talking to? Weird.
Let's see. One thing I say a lot.
Oh my gosh.
Favorite thing about emceeing the Fursuit dance competition.
I'm just gonna skip all the way to the end to the dance results when we find out. But I have a lot more to talk about all the other beautiful performers who did their thing. Oh yeah, Cattle Dog, absolutely amazing performance. Yo, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand in the moment. Hold on, if I can find it. Okay, I guess I'll come back to it. But when Hidama made the speech, I was like, where is he going with this?
We saw different pieces that come from different cultural backgrounds. And real quick, I just want to give a message that promotes love, unity, and the celebration of each other's differences. It doesn't matter
Bro,
what
he said that.
music is in.
Wolfie or Nar pat me on the back, and I was like, oh. And I think we had an idea where it was going.
Different languages, music is a universal language. And it doesn't matter what language it's in. Because at the end of the day, it's all music, baby. So, it's all love, peace, and unity, and culture, baby. Alright, now that I did my little spiel, y'all ready to find out who won?
Oh, okay.
This year's
Dude, we don't need to do the anticipation. And I only show this because I was mugged. Everybody else came around and gave me hugs. It was the greatest feeling in the world. But also, I could not find my way to the front because I was like, I just wanted to give everybody a hug. It was a really nice moment. I'm so glad Glucose was there with me. This man, he did not, like, he obviously took off our outfit at some point to rest in backstage. And I was like, yo, there's a chance that we might win this, okay? In the off chance that this happens, like the 1% chance, like, can you put on your out? Yeah, and then I would love for you to come out on stage, please. And this happened, so. Yeah. Oh my God, girl did me, bro. Okay. But, I'm gonna go off on a tangent here, but like there's just so many other beautiful performances. I don't have enough time to highlight them all, but like Chirpay, like her like land dance salsa, it's just amazing to watch. Look at the pool up here. Good. Let's dance. Oh my God. How does your body move like that? Amazing to watch. Here, look at the Cattle Dog ending. I guess I'm spoiling it for those who haven't seen it yet, but like. I got chills today. I know I'm really running through this. Y'all gotta see the rest of that performance to feel the chill of. But like, oh my God, like stepping halfway into the dark, from the light into the dark. It's like a movie. This is a movie in backstage. This is a movie. Lux, oh my God, Buddy, everybody did their thing. I can't give, I mean, they don't need my props, but like, Liddy McGaw, yeah. I know there was also a specific combo that she wanted to master that she didn't quite execute in her prelims, but I think did phenomenal at the finals. Also, I shout out my friend Wolfkey, bro. Just animation, right? And like, there's just particular arm movement. I just want you to look for it. Ooh. Yo! Isn't that so cool? Ooh, I got body chills. Just the fluidity, but also like the kind of animatronic aspect and of just having the proper body control to do that. Insane. The spacewalk, let's go. We're gonna spend the rest of the day gassing everybody. Tailspin, y'all don't. I'm actually, because we were trying to get our fursuit and then back on before we had to come back to the stage for the group dance. I kind of couldn't really watch this all the way, but during the rehearsals, oh my gosh, I was like, this is a group. I can't even imagine the amount of like time and effort to try to coordinate this. Genuinely one of the best group dances I've seen in a long time. I can't glaze them enough. It's amazing. Oh gosh, there's so many other people that I'm missing. Takuma, Hallow. I'm getting overly excited, but I guess want to wrap it all up, right? I just want to say that I'm incredibly grateful to have this opportunity to be able to perform in front of everybody. At my first ever FWA, you know, being the first dance comp that I'm able to place at, it's just incredible. And even without that, like the continuous support from all of my friends, my dance group, Lost Lords, like Kaibutsu, from Jinlong, from everybody that I talked to, and from my parents, my sister, like giving me the idea for this dance as well. It's been a journey. I think I started fursuit dancing for about 3.5 years ago now, which is insane to think about. It almost feels like I just started, the other day. Like I'm just beginning on this journey, and I'm glad to have this opportunity to show my culture and share a little bit of me with everybody, right? And to be able to blend that with things that I'm learning, like popping, in hip hop, and yeah, I can't thank you all enough. The amount of people who reach out to support and congratulate me after the competition, um, it's just really heartwarming. And I hope to be able to continue and do more dances for y'all in the future. Some with fans, maybe some not without fans. Well, one thing I definitely do learn from this is that when I went into creating this dance, a lot of it was just about an excitement to show to you, an aspect of me, my culture. Um, and at that time, I honestly like did not think about like, oh, I'm doing this to win. In the past, honestly, I have. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try to put on the most competitive performance possible. This is why I'm going with this song, boom bop. It'll play to the musicality, it'll play to the originality, and I didn't really think about this here. I just said, well, regardless of how I do number wise, whatever that means, right? I want to do this because I think it's a really cool idea, and people need to see a fursuit dancing in an aoyai. People need to see that, and that's how I did it. So I'm just gonna try to kind of carry that energy with me, trying to be myself, and not get caught too much in the weeds. But yeah, video is probably a bit of a ranty now at this point, but I really appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you all in the future. Bye.